Now, I thought we were safe to plant, but this morning's freeze says otherwise. In this week's Valk Talk, Andrew Valk is back with some more tips on how to grow a successful spring garden, and more importantly, how to avoid pests, because with the warmer weather, that's when those bugs start coming out, and that's not what you want to see. Yeah,
you want to kind of resist it, and that's that activity that's really happening now and will continue to happen, unfortunately. But it is the nature of the beast in our industry. Today I want to talk about a disease called fire blight, in particular on this apple, or on fruits in this case. So fire blight's a disease that comes very frequently every year, especially if you have a susceptible species. So a quick note on there, fire blight, it's a Aronia bacteria that kind of comes, spreads. Really when you get the heavy spring and high humid or consistently humid temperatures and a lot of wet rain. Last year we had a lot of presence of it. I have a photo that I took of that just to show what you see in the summertime. The classic telltale symptom on fire blight, in this case on any Malus species, apples in this case, is a classic brown shepherd's hook.
I just would think it was dry and dead.
It does look like that.
How do you know the difference?
So two things now. So if you had that in the past, that's the classic 100% telltale sign, a brown arching stem on the top. So that's in the summer of last year. What you see now presently on like current apple trees that you may or may not have planted or want to plant, you see bark splitting. So that bacteria technically overwinters in the fruit that's on there, or sorry, in the canker that's on there. It can also overwinter in mummified fruit overwinter, but luckily to our blessing, the bacteria doesn't necessarily spread from the fruit. It spreads on overwintered stem tissues. So if you, as you're inspecting your apple tree, yes, you can spray. There are commercial sprays that you can spray on theirs. That's mostly
that are safe, because of course you want to eat these apples.
Yeah, you want to say that's a streptomycin bacteria, so a very, very effective, safe product to spray. If you want to spray now, it's on bud opening. So right now, when you get those active buds, every 3 or 4 days, you actively want to spray. Or to your point, on your side of the table, on bud swell, we're well past that in this time of day. So when you go from bud swell to bud opening, you want to spray 3 or 4 times.
So once it gets to the point of the picture, is it too late to do anything? Because I in the past have just cut it off like a dead limb, and is that bad?
Yeah, no, good segue there, because if you want to prune, if you do have what's called a stem canker for fire blight, you don't just go to the edge and prune back. You want to go, we say go back a foot, from that last noticeable brown spot that's on it, or where that canker is. So as you're inspecting your apple tree, again, if it's here, you're going to prune all the way back to here. So you want to go down lower and prune it off.
I guess that ensures that it's safe then.
Yes, it ensures that it's safe. Yes, once the tree has a species, or the disease, the Aronia bacteria, it's very hard to recover from it. So you will have an infected tree for that time. But this is where the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. If you prep it ahead of time, spray if need be, cultural control. But the biggest lasting imprint that I want to say on fire blight is the critical success is do your research, understanding there are more resistant species, and more importantly, more susceptible species of apples, crab apples, quinces that really target the bacteria.
There's a lot of work upkeeping apple trees, but the minimum that you could do is spray that tree down. That's all we have for Valk Talk. We'll be right back after the break.